Hi, today we're going to learn how to crochet a granny square out of yarn. So to start with, I have my yarn and my crochet hook. And all you have to do to get started is hook the yarn onto the hook. So your yarn is attached, and the things you need to know are how to chain and that we're going to be doing a double crochet, and I will tell you what those are as I do them. So you want to let the piece hang that isn't attached and hold on to the other piece, and I just put it through my first two fingers and then hold the knot with these two fingers. So this is where you're going to chain. To chain, you grab the yarn and pull it through the hoop. That's a chain. That's all it is. So when I say chain 6, you have to do that 6 times. So here we are going to chain 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to start a granny square, you have to make a circle. So you're going to come back down to the end with your hook and go through this piece of yarn. You're going to grab the yarn on your finger and pull it through that hoop. Then you're going to keep going through the hoop that was already on your hook. And there's our circle. So now we have to make 4 groups of 3 double crochets. To do that, you need to chain first. Start by chaining 3. So just like we just did, 3 times. Now a double crochet, you need to grab your hook, and then on this one you're going to go through the center of the circle that we just made. Grab the yarn and pull through. So now you should have 3 pieces of yarn on your hook. You're going to grab this and pull through 2 pieces of that yarn. So now you have 2. Then you're going to grab the yarn again and pull through those 2 pieces. So here's 1 and here's 2, and we have to have 3 double crochets. So we're going to do the same thing again. Grab your yarn, go through the middle of the circle, grab the yarn, there's your 3 pieces, grab, pull through 2, grab, pull through 2. So there's your 3 double crochets. Now we want to do that 4 times. To separate them though, we need to chain 1 between them. So you're just going to repeat yourself 3 more times. Chain 1, and then we're starting our 3rd group. 2, and then chain 1, and we'll start our 4th group. And you just move this out of the way. You don't need that right now. Two, and whoops, 3. So you have your 4 groups completed right there, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. So to hook this, you want to go back to your first chain that we made. This is your chain 3 when you came out of the circle. So you want to go to the top of that circle, or the top of that chain, I'm sorry, and put your hook through these 2 pieces of yarn, through one of those chains. You're going to grab the yarn, pull it through there, and then pull it through this one. So now we've got our square started. There's 1 group, and there's 2 holes, and here's 2 holes right here between our groups. So, see it? So now, to continue this, you need to chain 3 again. And then once you get to this point, you're going to start going back through these holes that we made, that I just showed you. So you're chaining your 3, and that plays as your first double crochet. So you need 2 more. Grab it through the hole, pull through 2, pull through 2. Through the hole, pull through 2, pull through 2. So now you're going to have to move over to this hole. So you want to chain 1 and then just do the same thing in this hole over here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now this is going to be a corner of your square, as will this, but we'll get back to that. So this is a corner, and the thing you want to do in corners to make it a corner is chain 2. And now you have to make this group over here. And to do that, after you chain 2, you're going to do your 3 double crochets back into the same hole you just worked it with. So there's 1, and 3. See our corner? So there's a hole. There's our hole for our corner. And there, we're starting our square. So now to go over to this hole, since this isn't a corner, we're just going to chain 1 and go over to this hole. And then make your 3 double crochets. There's 3. Now at the corner, remember we're going to chain 2 and back through the same hole. Alright, there's our second corner, and you're just going to repeat this. Chain 1 and make your 3 double crochets. Chain 2 in your corner, and back in the same hole for your second set of 3 double crochets. Alright, so now here's the first one that we made right here. We're going to go back into this hole. We need to chain our 1, and we need to go back into our first hole because we have 2 sets in each corner, and this is a corner. So the difference with this one is we're making our second set instead of the first set. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, to complete this, we need to do as we did on the first set. We're going to connect them by going into the top of our first chain we made. There's 2 pieces of yarn right here. Go through there, grab your yarn, and pull through both of them. So there's our square. Now, this is the basis of the square. This is how the whole thing is going to look. You can make it as big or as little as you want to. I usually do 4 or 5 rows in mine. You could stop here if you wanted, or you could make 10, 15 rows if you wanted to. You can make a huge blanket out of one giant granny square. Now, you're just going to repeat the same thing over and over again. Back into the corners, chain 1 into this one, chain 2 in your corners. Repeat the same thing over and over and over again until you make a large granny square. And once you get to the end, you want to connect it as we've always done. Chain 2 because you're in a corner. Put your yarn through the 2 pieces and pull through both. And there you are connected. So you want to take the yarn and cut a little ways out. And take your hook and pull your piece all the way through. So there you're connected. Now you need a crochet needle. It's just a little thicker. It's not really that sharp. It's just a thick needle with a large end. And you're going to put the yarn in the thread hole. And the only thing you do to tie these ends in is put it back through your piece. Just kind of double it over itself, however you want to do it. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. You just want to hide the yarn basically. So I kind of go back through the circle. You can go back and kind of weave in and out of the pieces so it it's down in there nice and good. So you'll do that for both pieces, as many times as you feel necessary. And then, whoops. Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you get it. This is going to be tied back into it. You cut it off, and there's your finished square. So, you can make a blanket. Like I said, just make a bunch of these, put them together, or make one large one.